I was 18 years old. Me and Elise are just these like sardonic, like fucking like, imagine like a Ghost World. I'm like Thora Birch, basically. That was my vibe. And we go to this party and we each have like a 40 or like a 30, I think it was a 32 of like Miller High Life. This guy rolls up to the party and he's just like such douche energy. And he literally has a beer bong. He just like get on his knee and he's all like, someone give me a beer and I'll do a beer bong. And I'm like, ugh, this guy probably literally brought a beer bong and no beers. That he's just getting wasted by telling people to give him beers. And she's like, oh my God, totally, what a fucking loser. And I was like, ugh. He's like, ladies, you got a beer? And we're like, no. And I was like, oh my God, it would be so funny if we like fed him our piss. So instead of each drinking our own High Life, we were gonna finish one together so then we can go in the bathroom and pee in it. And then we were gonna, I was 18. I was a bad girl. So we finished one of the High Lives and then we go in the bathroom. I mean, we were stacking piss, okay? It's truly, I don't know who went pee first, but we fill it up and it looks like a beer. I don't remember the color of the piss. You're like, can you describe was it more amber? Like, what's the hue? Piss Diaries by Charlie Dunn. So we have literally like 32 ounces of piss. We go out and he's still like thrashing about, but we get scared because we're like, what if he like sprays us with piss? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a definite possibility. So we tell our friend Noonan, this is filled with our piss. And I think it would be funny if we fed it to that guy who's begging everybody for beer. And he's all like, that's pretty funny. And I'm like, but we're afraid to do it. He's like, I'll fucking do it. And I was like, okay, cool. So we're just like standing by, just like watching like the fruits of our labor. Like, Noonan's all like, hey bro, I got a 32 for you. You want some? And he's all like, fuck yeah. So he gets on his knee and pour it in. And he goes, that's piss.
Oh my God.
Like immediately. Like this has happened before. That's piss. And we start laughing so much, and he starts laughing so much. He's like, that's hilarious. And I'm like, and he's like, did you do that? Actually, it's these girls' piss. And he's like, that's super funny. We're like, wait, this guy's cool. We become friends with him. Elise, of course, months later, starts fucking him. Duh. I don't even think months later. I think weeks later. They fuck for a little bit. And then I'm like, oh, you still seeing Sean? And she's like, no, I had to stop seeing him. I'm like, why? And she's like, because I found like shredded cheese in his bed and I just couldn't anymore. He's gross because he has shredded cheese in his bed. I'm like, he drank your piss.
Yeah.